What are the environmental impacts of genetically modified crops? The following presentation considers and explores the impacts that these genetically modified crops are having on the environment, in particular how they impact ecosystems by affecting non-target plants, insects and animals, therefore throwing out the delicate balance by which they survive. An ecosystem consists of all living things in a particular area, such as plants, animals, insects and organisms, interacting not only with each other but also with the non-living environments like sun, soil, water, atmosphere and climate. Ecosystems are elaborate and operate on a delicate balance by which each living and non-living element plays a specific and important role in maintaining. GM crops upset the natural existence of these ecosystems in a number of ways. Through damage to non-target plants, through a 239 million kilo increase in the use of herbicide, and threats to non-target animals and plants. The genetic modification of plants changes the way they behave and exist in the environment. Genes may be added, silenced or changed so that crops and herbicides and pests, which should have a positive impact on the environment. However, it is becoming increasingly clear that this may not be the case. Non-target animals and insects have been found to be affected in two main ways: through herbicide-resistant crops being introduced and through the modification of plants to contain the Bacillus thuringiensis or Bt toxin. Herbicide-resistant crops means more direct spraying. Glyphosate, the herbicide used to spray GM crops, is said to be unlikely to affect animals. However, studies have found this to be untrue. In a study undertaken by Rayleigh 2005, it was found that these widely used herbicides cause substantial mortality in 5 North American amphibian species, tadpoles and algae. These species are natural predators of many pests which exist in natural ecosystems, and their disappearance could seriously impact nature's own pest control measures. GM crops, which have been modified to contain Bt toxin, so they are insect and pest resistant, have been found to have secondary effects on non-target insects like the lady beetle, honeybee and monarch butterfly. These insects are affected as they feed on the pollen from the Bt modified crops themselves, or by cases where the pollen has spread to other plants on which these insects feed. The more genetic modifications which are made to crops, the more weed and disease populations adapt with their natural resistance mechanisms. Wild plants develop similar resistances, however it takes far longer, so they don't have the time to develop resistance to the stronger pests or disease. At the same time, accidental drift from herbicides also damages wild non-target plants, which may decrease the number of species found in each ecosystem, therefore lowering biodiversity. Determining the legitimacy of the environmental impacts of GM crops is important, as this means correct intervention can take place where necessary so that no further irreversible damage is done. It is becoming increasingly clear that GM crops are causing too much environmental damage to continue. Strategies for long-term agricultural sustainability practices need to be developed so that farmers have alternatives and options when it comes to genetic modification. With every modification which is made, a new impact is created, whether it is positive or negative. So where is the line drawn to say enough?